the 2 spot with a tie next to the record of the top 6 in the OAC. But Rich Benjamin, Mike Hearn here this afternoon, this evening. It is a big matchup because the last time Baldwin Wallace was in this building, Abby Akamine called game and sent the Yellow Jackets back to Northeast Ohio with a giant loss.
Yeah, and it's always, we're at a home now, and I think, we have a pretty good tradition of kind of protecting our home court as far as Ohio Northern, and it's nice now to be at home against this Baldwin Wallace team again, who's leading the league right now. But really, quite frankly, Mike, basketball is a tournament sport. So, yeah, you want to win your conference, and we're right there, and that could still happen. But, obviously, how will you put yourself in position as far as what the draw you get for the tournament? Because even our OAC tournament, that might result whether you get in the NCAA tournament.
Speaking of that, 16 times the most in the OAC for Baldwin Wallace. They're coming off a win, their second straight against Otterbein on Saturday, 71-35. Polar Bears lost at Marietta, 84-62 in front of 1,100 people. We get this one started, taking a look at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the ball game, and looking first at the visiting Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, whose head coach just happens to have nearly 900 all-time games under her belt. She talks about needing to win the possession battle, limiting turnovers, and winning the offensive boards, playing great team defense to contest every shot. She said they'll make us take some perimeter shots, the Polar Bears are, but we have to knock down a good share of those, and that was a big difference maker the first time that these two teams played. And you look at Ohio Northern on the other side for fourth-year head coach Mark Hulsman. He's pretty much an open book. He said, we got to limit transition points, rebound on both sides, and make some shots. And as I understand it, a couple of coaches told me it's pretty important to make some shots in basketball.
Yeah, you need, as somebody always says, you got any shooters? I'd say, yeah, I got a lot of shooters. I need some more makers. So, but some of those keys to the game are, pretty consistent on what you want to do with some of the little things of the game of basketball, like rebounding the basketball, stopping transition. Those keys sometimes get a little monotonous, but there's sometimes excellence in monotony, Mike.
Now, if you see in the background from where the Polar Bear ladies are, there's the giant blimp. I opined that if you're down late in the game, you should be able to throw it off the blimp, Larry Bird style, go into the basket. Depending on where you're out on the floor, it should be worth more points, but they did not take my suggestion.
No. But you spoke of wins with 900 wins. Sitting across the way from us is Kate Whitty, our longtime volleyball coach here at Ohio Northern University, and she's got over 700-plus wins and has done a great job bringing the girls' volleyball team to a national prominence.
That is what is at stake, national prominence for these two programs. Bryn Serban, we'll talk a lot about her. She's in the starting lineup for the Polar Bears because why? You cannot have an Ohio Northern Polar Bears start without number 3. More to come in just a couple of minutes as we get ready for the officials. One of them, I just want to get one of these jackets. I got to be honest with you. I'm told that they're not going to part with them.
No.
We'll see what happens as we roll along here in Ada. Great crowd still filing in on a Wednesday night. The ladies will be back home on a Saturday against Capital. But tonight, it's Yellow Jackets and Polar Bears here from the ONU Sports Center on NK Telco Sports.
Major from Boston, as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by these early lights what so proudly we hail at these twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright
started and take a look at the starting lineups for this ball game. Polar Bears again come in at 13-7 on the year. Got Bryn Serban. She's played against this squad 8 times, technically 9 as a member of Ohio Northern University, now in her 5th year, but just 2-6 in those matchups. Did not play the game in Berea her freshman year. 90 points, averaging 11.3 a game against this squad. She's got 4 straight double-figure games and 5 overall. 21 points in the win here last year, but we talked about it. Abby Akamine was a big reason why. That was, for the most part, her coming out party in that game. Hits the layup to our left with a couple of seconds to go. And that was a big win for Northern because it sort of propelled them towards what they needed to get into the OAC tournament and make some noise here at home.
Yeah, that was she really did a great job and a little spark, obviously, for the Ohio Northern women to make that tournament run as well.
So we'll see the starting lineups. We'll talk first about the visiting Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Under head coach Sherry Harrer, 34th year, 670 wins, 240 losses for the former University of Findlay standout point guard and an academic All-American. I'm told she's pretty smart.
Yeah.
She'll go with Alyssa Miller, the 5'11 sophomore, averaging 5 a game, wearing 11. Casey Badalak, the 5'8 sophomore, 21 and 4.6 a game. Emily Irwin, the leading assist artist for this team, 22, a 5'4 junior. Bella Valent, 5'11 junior from just up the road in Perrysburg. 11 points, 9 rebounds a game for number 24. And at Napoleon's, Carly Wrestler, a 5'11 junior, 7 rebounds, 9 points a game for number 25 for the Yellow Jackets. And the starting lineup for 4th-year head coach Mark Hulsman. 62 wins, 28 losses, sitting at 13-7 this year. He goes with pretty much the lineup that he's used for a long time. Bryn Serban, OAC Player of the Week a handful of times throughout the course of the season already, but just the numbers that she's put up. She just continues to do things. 1,184 points now in her career. Number 1 all-time in steals, assists, number 3s and threes made. She just passed Morgan Dunball. She's very good. Also, I didn't even realize till this week, number 13 in rebounds. You get a kid like that who's played in 115 games in her career as your leader, you're probably doing pretty well.
Yeah, well, 2 things kind of strike out when I think of Bryn. 1, she's a hard worker. She was, when I was coaching here, she was on the men's side. She was in the gym all the time, kind of working out. And 2, she's just got that great basketball sense and kind of court sense. And that's why I think she gets some rebounds that she does.
There is one change in Ohio Northern's lineup here in just a second. Layla Dials, a 5'7 junior, had 6 points the first team. First time these teams played. Abby Akamine had a hard time getting going with a 0 for 7 performance and 1 point, the 5'7 junior. But also Peyton Wardicky, the Ottawa Glendora product, had 3 points, the 5'9 senior. And we were told that Chloe Glenn, the Ottawa Glendora Lady Titan freshman, would be in the starting lineup, but it's actually Brooke Allen, the 6'1 senior, or 6'1 junior rather. And she is trying to get some things going here, and we'll see what happens. White jerseys for the Polar Bears and the gold for the Yellow Jackets. Everybody ready to go. This matchup has gone in Ohio Northern's win column quite a few times, with the last 2 have been won and 8 of the last 11 by B-Dub. So this first possession, always fascinating to see what happens. Allen inside, couldn't get it to fall. Warnicky tapped it back out, but here come the Yellow Jackets. On the run and trapped on the hip, wide open in the corner. Lefty triple, short, the box out. We talked about it.
Yeah. It was a pretty good transition by Baldwin Wallace, and our conversion defense could have been a little bit better. They had a wide open shooter on the 3 on the left wing.
Speaking of wide open, Serban was, and off to miss though. The rebound will put who else but Brooke Allen at the free throw line, where she's 30 of 42. It'll be the first foul on Bella Valent. That's a name you're going to hear a lot. She does a lot of things for this team as Allen rifles one down through the net. Took 34 seconds. That's about what it takes Northern, on the most part, to score. So they get the first, second one. Draws just the back of the rim, and those long arms from the Yellow Jackets post, able to set up just a 1 out of 2 and keep it to that. On a great cut, a two-hand layup. Kaylee Ressler, it's a terrific scorer from, she had Corey Kreinbrink as her head coach when she won a state title, but he's now in Columbus, and Ohio Northern forcing the issue. Quick hands, quick feet, and fouls early.
This is the first time, really, I got to see Baldwin Wallace play live, because when you're the men's coach, you go opposite all the time.
You used to be
then,
busy, is what you're saying.
And then, you know,
you used to
last year
town.
I was out,
yeah.
so I kind of broke my leg a little, so I was out watching from afar. And the first thing I notice is the strength. I mean, that was a kind of a cross-court skip pass. It was really strong, an overhead pass. So, and they kind of handle it pretty well, getting up and down the floor.
So, and you flips their free throws. Allen missed the second after making the first. Akamina did the opposite. Either way, it's 2-0. First minute gone. Let's see, 3 offline left and the hands up, just to try to kind of weld that one in for a battle act.
Yeah.
Talk about Gym Rat. She's one of those for Baldwin Wallace. Serban tried the reverse layup, and we've played not even 2 minutes, not even a minute and a half yet. And Ohio Northern, on just the strength of their driving ability, has got Baldwin Wallace to reach and commit 3 fouls.
Yeah. And that's what they like to do, play inside-out kind of basketball, whether they get a post touch or whether Ohio Northern gets a lane drive. That's a big part of their kind of philosophy offensively. It was a good block out on the other end by Dials. I mean, and she didn't run the rim. They call them rim runners. They turn and they run to the rim. She did a great job of actually sealing off a girl on a block out, and that was just a great job getting that defensive rebound.
So substitutions happening earlier. Maddie Everett out of Lake Orion High School in Michigan in for the first time for Baldwin Wallace. They have a lot of girls, about 75% of their girls, I swear, they're on the Dean's list. So a team that's smart, knows how to attack.
Yep.
Throw across from Ressler for 3. Good box out by Allen again, and she kept a different, just kept her hands up is what I was looking for.
Yeah, well, you know, it's one and done. That's, you know, Ohio Northern's a good job blocking out.
Serban hit the back rim. 3 different Yellow Jackets hit each other. And a rebound on the race back. It was Kira Flippo. Came in. She's a senior that can get some things done at 5 points a game, but she's going to be tasked with trying to figure out what Allen's doing, and a throwaway on the miscommunication from Battle Act. First turnover for Baldwin Wallace. They averaged 16 a game.
It's a good job with Ohio Northern with some of the little things, little parts of the game that are so big sometimes. And right now it's rebounding. They're not allowing any second chance points for Baldwin Wallace.
Carolyn Wokley, the 3-point shooter for Baldwin Wallace, into the game now. Down 4 to the rack, strong. Allen with a rebound, high off glass with the left hand. And she says, that's how I celebrate National Girls and Women in Sports Day.
Yeah, Dials came off a staggered screen there off the right wing and did a great job with dribble penetration, which she found out the girl was trailing her. And then it was a great rebound by Brooke Allen.
Wokley with that extra pass into the corner, and finally up and down on the threes. That's Emily Irwin. That's her 40th of the year. And it gives Baldwin Wallace their first 2 points of the game, and they added one more because that's how threes work.
Yep.
So they cut the lead in half. So Warnicki and Akamine trying to slow things down. Bella Valent had 10.6 rebounds the first time these teams played, but hasn't touched the ball yet as Northern long on the shot.
Yeah, it just, the result wasn't great, but it was a really good staggered screen into a flat ball screen for Bryn Serban.
Speaking of threes, tapped back down and kept in play. We talked about rebounding. That'll be off, says young Mr. Official. Just happens to be a baseball coach in the area. He told me to be nice to him. Braden Sutter just happens to be the head baseball coach at Columbus Grove High School down the road. In for Baldwin Wallace, Bella Valent, 5'11", junior. She's got that foul, though. Keep that in mind through the first couple of minutes. It's a girl that can just straight go get it. She had a career-high 5 straight double-double games in December. Do not let her get the basketball. Oakley on the pull-up down to 7 with
yeah, I don't think they recognize where the shot clock is. They do now.
I think they found it.
Got it long. Yep.
Shot way deep and long. And Chloe Glenn, who snuck into the game. Shout out to her mom, Mandy. Not here tonight. Her dad, Chris, is here, but Mandy's not feeling well. So shout out to her. And also, Noe Wayne in for the Polar Bears for the first time.
It was good defense by Ohio Northern women. They did a good job. They had a lot of action to guard there. They started out with an elevator screen into a kind of a staggered screen and into another kind of a little curl cut. So great multi-action defending by Ohio Northern.
Inside of Chloe Glenn, turns, spins high off the glass for two. I said she'll probably have another career high because her mom's not here. She plays well when her mom doesn't show up for some reason. I don't know what that means. 6 minutes to go. Now, by the way, up in Berea, Baldwin Wallace leading Ohio Northern at 17-13. But the first basket from inside for Kaylee Ressler.
Yeah, it was a good back cut off of a staggered. She didn't use it. She went to the basket. Speaking of whether you're playing or not or whether you're here, I had a player told me couldn't shoot free throws when I was watching. I said, well, you better get over that. I plan on being at every game.
Polar Bears with their first turnover is a behind-the-back pass from Serban. It is Pilford. And the first foul that'll be attributed to Abby Dixon. Had 6 points the first time these teams played, but, you know, it was really balanced scoring for Baldwin Wallace. Alyssa Miller had a career-high 16 points when these teams played. Ressler had 5, but she was 5 of 6 from the line. Just could not get those triples to fall. Here now is Baldwin Wallace weaving through traffic to set up the three. That high arcing shot. This is another rebound, Alyssa Miller. And she stepped on the end line because she was shoved there by Chloe Glenn. Baldwin Wallace fans are over the moon right now. They get a foul.
Yeah, you look at the scoring for Baldwin Wallace. There's no really big score. They're all pretty, like you said, even. I think that the leading scorer is Valiant with 10.5 a game.
Yeah, that's a lot of what they do. They continue to just come at you, come at you, come at you. So the Polar Bears now forcing another deep shot clock possession. On the take, Glenn with the bump, and Valent is going to go to the line where she's 50 of 76 on the year. And I suspect that will put Chloe Glenn on the bench for a second. Substitutions bring in Grace Dean. Had 2 points in 8 minutes the first time these teams played up in NEO. Valent was a second-team OAC selection a year ago out of Perrysburg High School. And what's, I guess, neat about that, she didn't even have to change her apparel. She went from being a Perrysburg Yellow Jacket to Baldwin Wallace.
Yeah, pretty much so.
First point of the ball game, not accompanied by a second, but a lead cut to 8-6. She had a 19 rebound game this year against Oberlin. She had an 18 rebound game against Capital. What they say, rebounding is just how much you want the ball.
Yeah. You know, there are some things that Coach Campoli used to teach. He actually gave a little speech at the Final Four one year on offensive rebounding. But for the most part, it's just heart. You either crash and slide in front or you hit and spin, you know, and it's just a matter of effort and heart.
And a full timeout, the media timeout, 4:44 in the first, 8-6 Polar Bears here on NK Telco Sports. Gonna lie, out of that precision strip timeout, I watched the cheerleaders on the other side do those flips, and when they do the basket toss, that it just is accompanied by a trust fall. I get nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to go over there and be a part of that because that just won't go well. But interesting, kind of where the timeouts are placed. About 4.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Teams feeling each other out. Polar Bears have had it for a while. ONU leads the all-time series 40-27, including 25-18 here in Ada. But a lot of this series has been built upon the fact that since the first time they met in 75, Northern won 67-42. They won the first 21 meetings. So 21 and 40 to 27. I mean, that's 27-19 the other way. You know why? The young lady with 670 wins to my right.
Yep.
It's been a heck of a battle, though.
Yeah, QP Blimpy, he's dropping something on people over there.
Hopefully it's free QP.
Maybe it
If
was.
he is, he can come over here. Someone will get an email for that one. It's another deep shot clock. It's the third time now. This time on the drive-by.
Yeah.
Ball tapped out of play. Last touch by Alyssa Miller. She got a good look there, though.
Oh, yeah. It was a good little crossover and sweep to the opposite side of the rim.
Bryn Serban representing the PGH and North Allegheny High School with it. Shout out to her mama. Pretty sure she's watching. Down to 4 minutes. Out on the elbow and a jumper. It's pretty much just closed right now for Northern. They are 2 of 9 from the field. It's Brooke Allen coming in might change that. But the defense is just, you see why Northern is so good defensively, because they just bring in so many players and just continue to hound you.
Yep.
It's that wind-up triple. Wind up in the bottom of the net is what Leah Riley's saying.
Nice little extra pass there for Baldwin Wallace. When they had a
first lead.
Yeah, the girl that was on the wing there, when you get a drive baseline, she needs to relocate in the corner for a better receiving angle. But it worked out for him.
Can you push too much, though, right now? I mean, you had that big lead. Obviously, it's 6-2. If you're Northern, you're down 9-8 now of trying to get back.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to keep the course of the game, consistency and execution. They're playing hard.
And the tie-up. That was a crazy sequence. I'd like to tell you more about it, but there is a massive wall of humanity in front of me.
I'm really impressed with our student body across the way and those new bleachers we have. It's such a good thing for the student body here. Mike, they had chairs out before, and a few people could fit in the chairs, and then you stood behind them, and it just wasn't fun.
I'm real impressed with the guy at midcourt next to the kid in the orange hoodie with his mustache game. I'm just going to say, we showed him during the national anthem, but that is a glorious mustache.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the Northern men coaches had one last year, but he shaved it off.
Well, I think it was our assistant coach.
Yes, it was. That's he made a mistake. 3 from the corner to extend the lead. Serban with another rebound. Why? Nobody boxed her out. It came right back to her. A quick run from Dials inside left hand. Spins it.
Good strong drive.
Off the top. You got to be mad when those don't go in. Kick to the corner, and again, that shot put 3 from Wilkerson.
Just a long rebound.
Speaking of, you cannot stop Kaylee Ressler. You can just hope to contain her. I think it's how that goes, and it's now 11-8.
Well, then when there's a 3-ball shot, Mike, you got to be ready for that. It's going to be a long rebound. It's not going to be a short rebound. So we got to make sure, Ohio Northern's got to make sure they get into the block out a little bit better.
Ressler, an honorable mention pick in the OAC last year, was the MVP of the Rochester, New York tournament that Baldwin Wallace played in, and puts it straight down. She's got 5, and it's a 12-8 lead. What was struggling to get to even and now get to 1 is a +4. We talk about turnovers and about opportunities, about creating more. Northern's going to turn to Gabby Croft. Croft wanted to go on the baseline, but she got cut off before she could get there. Akamine lost it. Recognized that she had at least a quick opening.
That was a really good defensive series by Baldwin Wallace, Mike. They had to defend a lot of multiple action screens, and they did a good job with it.
Dalen inside, trying to throw it high off the glass, and a foul, and Brooke Allen sort of got turned the wrong way. Mark Hillsman's not all that thrilled about that call. And the Baldwin Wallace men just scored for the first time in, I'm pretty sure, 4 or 5 minutes of game action. So it was 17-15 forever. Now it's 18-15. I don't know what just happened, but one of the young ladies from Baldwin Wallace nearly tripped on her way by. Free throw rolls away for Bella.
Yeah, that's no give me over there at Baldwin Wallace at their place. Their record's not great right now in the OAC, but That's a place where they play pretty well.
Well, Serban's either blowing a kiss or she's trying to indicate something. Or maybe she's just happy about the fans being in attendance. Tries the runner, too strong off the glass. Rebound comes back down the other way into the hands of Wokley. They did not reset the shot clock, apparently, is the designation. And I'll tell you what, I give Braden a lot of guff because he might not answer this, but I consider us friends. And he was smart enough to be able to see that of, hey, it was down to 11.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at.
That's one heck of a home court advantage if you let that go.
Yeah.
So down to a minute 19, an illegal screen. Football nearly fell down in front of us. This time, she fell far enough into.
Yeah, coach wants to know what she did. She's saying she just stepped into it late.
Again, Baldwin Wallace has got a good chance that they've forgotten more as a coaching staff than I will ever know about basketball. Yeah, you don't have to agree with that. Minute 5 to go. I heard that. Don't think I didn't hear that. Serban on the drive will get to the baseline, hides behind, and again, call it what you want. I call that an effective hide-and-seek screen.
Yep.
Gives Northern their first points in quite some time. So they pulled within 12-11 with 45 seconds. Baldwin Wallace with the steal. Who's there? Who else? Serban now leads ahead on Allen. One block inside.
Flop.
And the no call.
Yeah, it was a good no call. Back 2-3 years ago, they had caught a flop on that.
I think a week or so ago they would have.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't even know what fouls are anymore.
The flop and the cylinder call that they brought into the game a couple years ago. I don't know if it's still here, but
that's why you got out of coaching, right? It was that one thing.
It was the cylinder.
I said I'm
into
done with this.
Cylinder.
I'm too old to learn the terminology now. So we're going with Philpott. I do a lot of Rushi basketball and sports, and the L and the I are transversed with those two, so it's flippo the other way. So off on the first. 19 of 27, though. Pretty good free throw shooter is Kira on the year.
Boy, she drops that guide hand real quick.
Puts her team to within 13 to 10. It's Kira. The Greater Akron Prep All-Star and the Summit County All-Star out of Monroe Falls. And it's a big deal. It was actually the Tressel Award winner at Baldwin Wallace a couple of years ago.
So that was a dribble weave into a staggered screen for Bryn Serban. Really good multiple action screens with Ohio Northern.
Oh, and Serban just chucks one up and in. Down to the Allegheny for 3.
Yeah. That's nice to have. Baldwin Wallace did a good job of there's a steal from
Acamino with a steal, but nothing doing after one. Oh, hello. That went halfway down and came back out. Now, I wouldn't have counted. It would have looked neat. The First National Bank scoreboard has a 13-13 tie. Well, hey, think about it as we take a break here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
13-13 at the end of one. I never know where the fingers are coming from now. It's like trying to find the cameraman at all times. But to get a look inside both teams' benches. Competitive first quarter, obviously. It kind of ebbed and flowed. Each team got a little bit of what they wanted. Bryn Serban gets a overhand right from the banks of the Allegheny. Makes it a tie, and Northern gets a steal. So some momentum after they looked a little flat for a couple minutes.
Yeah, Baldwin Wallace kind of increased the gap a little bit there by 4 or 5 points, and Ohio Northern just kept their composure. It kept running through a lot of multiple action screens. So by that I mean it could be a back screen into a staggered screen and a dribble handoff, into a flat screen. That's multiple action screening. There's a little flare cut.
Ruane for 3. Rainbows. The Rough Rider brings it up and down. How about that? That's a heck of a way to start the quarter. You got to be a confident shooter to even take that.
Yeah, well, she just flared that screen, and it was a great skip pass, and it was a great job.
So Northern allowing inside it. Now, I saw one last week that hit the bottom of the net that counted, but it went through. That one did not.
Yeah.
That was in the men's game. We actually just watched that back a little bit ago. Britton Serban was the player of the week in January, the early part of January. Now on the drive after she was leading the Bears to big wins, tries a scoop shot. Didn't go, but she's on the doorway of becoming another record. It's a 3 for the lead, or to tie the lead, rather. Leah Riley's got 2 of those, and they've both been big.
Their form, Baldwin Wallace, their form on some of those threes are just, it's really good-looking form.
Serban trying to hit that ISO on the bottom side of the post up. Serban will go inside right to Brooke Allen. She'll spin baseline and put it in, and right on time on the other end. The ONU men just took a 20-19 lead, and then Baldwin Wallace got 2 back. Basketball's funny that way.
Yeah, Brooke does it's an interesting post move because it's kind of a little scoop shot on how it ends.
And the foul on Brooke Allen now. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually on Ruane.
I'd probably try to play that lower hand on the way she's turning instead of, it's not really a kind of a hook, it's kind of a scoop. She gets underneath the player.
Layla Dials and Jada Benjamin in for ONU along with Chloe Glenn. So Glenn's got to be careful playing with 2 fouls. Replacing Allen with those 2 not on the floor at the same time gives you kind of a different dimension. It's up top, wide open, Valent for 3. Draws the back iron. Ruane hustles for the rebound and is sent into her own bench.
Yeah. She might have been bumped a little before that caused her to.
I think there's a pretty good thought that she was. Mark Hillsman's in the corner saying pretty close to the same thing.
Yep.
He's pretty reserved unless you get him going. He did stop and say hi earlier. That was nice. Northern up 18-16, but
that's
it's a handoff. Serban with another steal. Ball to the floor, and
got a foul on Baldwin Wallace.
That's an awkward one, though, too. As you're a defender, you're kind of laying there trying to say, get off of me.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 ball. Some of those loose balls when you go to the floor can be interesting.
So Alyssa Miller now with 2 fouls. A career high 14 against John Carroll, was an All-Ohioan at New Philly out there in Northeast Ohio. Jada Benjamin,
that's a great
great throw down low. Dials just a split second later able to turn and Plinko one home to give ONU a big lead.
That was a nice little execution from the side out of bounds. That was for the inbounder the entire time. Got a kind of staggered back screen for a good look at the basket for Dials.
I don't know. I didn't think it was cold in here, but a handful of Baldwin Wallace girls with the long sleeves as Valent was tied up. Jada Benjamin with the rebound, and now she'll cruise out.
Good
up
job
and down.
Stopping and getting under control.
Serban to the corner, wanted to go baseline. Great give and go with Chloe Glenn, who draws the foul.
It's a good pass by Bryn. It's good body control by Chloe, too. That pass came in really nice and crisp, and she did a great job handling it. Took that little power dribble and then good body control.
Chloe Glenn, who laughed when I said, hey, you're going to have a big game because your mom's not here? She said, maybe. Hit 5 free throws, had 7 points in her collegiate debut against Wittenberg earlier this year. Splashes down on a free throw for her 3rd point. Now 31-52. Just see Layla Dials getting some instructions. First team WBL pick as a junior, despite the fact she only played 4 games. That's the kind of respect they have for the player that she is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She's really come on. 24 seconds on the shot clock, and I bring that up because it has been an adventure so far. 3 different times of under 8 seconds as Wrestler turns and draws the foul.
That was a pretty decent up and under move. Kind of faked baseline, came around with the pivot foot, stepped up, got the player a little bit, defensive player in the air, and was able to step under.
They did last time around that Baldwin Wallace won this game that these two teams played. It was a big reason why was their defense and from girls like Wrestler, because they were able to hold Bryn Serban for 2 for 14 from 3, and that was the keys to the game about making perimeter shots.
All right, a little short on that one.
But the lane violation on Ruane. I saw it. I was wondering how that was going to go.
Who was it?
Noe Ruane. Just that right foot into the painted area. All the weird calls. You ever notice this? All the weird calls happen to our left.
Yeah, but you know, if you watch her free throw, she's got a little hitch before she lets it go. So next time on the line, just take a look at that. Maybe that's what got Ruane kind of getting in the lane a little early. There's a little flat screen there, Mike.
Bang.
That's nice.
Serban for 3, and nobody celebrated more than the two girls about to check in.
Yeah.
Serban is finding that level.
You got to decide where you're going to force the flat screens, because you can go either way on a flat screen. And we used to always say force it towards the bench. That made it easy. But
Wrestler with that two-hand catch and just throw it as hard as you can off of the basket. Brings the lead to back within 25-20. She's got a good game rolling with, they say, 10.
And Chloe's got a little bit of a lob there. Dang. Oh, yeah. She looked for it.
Dials will take it down to the left side and on the spin inside. She's got two tough shots. And now the foul.
Yeah.
It's a frustration. She fouled out the first time these teams played after getting 6 points, but there was a play late in that game that she kind of got caught reaching for her fifth.
Yeah, she just would like to gotten a little kind of a steal there, but it's tough when to get those fouls 94 feet away.
Baldwin Wallace will bring in Alec Johnson, the junior. Alec, another one of those members of the Dean's List, both in high school and in college. Hit 58 threes as a senior at Mars Area High School, right around Gibsonburg, or Gibsonia, right out near where Bryn Serban's from, and a foul underneath. It'll be on Wokley.
Really good defensive area there by Hal Northern. That was kind of a Princeton look for Baldwin Wallace. Hit the middle, kind of have some X cutters coming off of that, and the last one was going to be a handoff, and Ohio Northern did a good job defending.
I'll take your word on Princeton. I don't do anything in New Jersey.
Well, that's what they call it anyhow.
Brent Serban's rooting for the Polar Bears from Missoula, Montana. It's nice when your sister is paying attention, right? Yeah. Akamine for 2. And I love how she just kind of held up in the air and was able to put it down.
It's kind of what she does best. A lot of teams give her a step. Yeah. But they give her a step because she's a drive first kind of player.
Shout out to her entire family, and her mom and dad, and her twin sister, and her cat and grandma. Watching in Hawaii, I'd be willing to bet you. Lahaina Lula.
Yeah.
I just like the word Lahaina. It's out on Maui, 27-20. I hope to go there one day. They'll probably close it down. It's a great
nice
drop
pass.
inside. I don't even know how to explain through two defenders.
Yeah, she got it through there, Dixon. That was
Dixon
a really good
pass.
pass.
Ohio Northern has scored 5 points from the hands of Noe Ruane. Made it 16-13 now, 29-20, largest lead of the game. As the guy next to you keeps saying, wholesale changes on the way.
Yep, that's a good drive.
Great drive. Down to that little right-handed shot from Emily Irwin up off the glass for 2.
Oh, yeah, Baldwin Wallace coach is not happy with their defensive effort right now. She's really getting on them. Actually, in a spirited way to play low.
Soprano, football take and blocked. On her way to the basket. You're making plays on both sides of your wrestler. She's over on the left, pull up for 3, needs it. Drew right off the back of the rim. Look how strong, I realize this goes out. Look how strong Brooke Allen is to really keep the offensive player at bay with one arm, knocked out with the other. 4:21 in the second quarter. It's a precision strip timeout here on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Well, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
That's like not a false start. That was a late start.
How about the one guy? He's just taunting him. He's so far ahead, he's just taunting on this bicycle race.
Yeah. That's a fifth-year lacrosse guy. I'm going to have to get on him a little bit. He said, get ready, get set, go, and he sat there for a while.
Well, then he tried to cheat.
Well, no one's pedaling very
Nobody
well.
is pedaling very well. Like, you need a class at Northern on that.
He's clapping for himself. Nobody gave him any love over
I don't
there.
think anybody, nobody else was clapping for him. He was the only one. Ohio Northern shooting 10 of 24 from the field. They have 13 rebounds. Baldwin Wallace has 18. They are 7 of 22. Each has made just 3 from a 3. But I wouldn't say either team is real happy about it. End of the first half in Berea. The Ohio Northern men, looks like, if my computer would be helpful, leading 40 to 38. So that'll go at least make half the people happy. Oh, Brent Serban, just a straight bully ball steal and race to end, and the foul.
That was great. I think that was well scouted out, probably watched on film. Everybody's running that little lob into a flex cut kind of series or into something. And if you can come with the opposite player, an opposite guard, and kind of poach on that lob, that's what's dangerous about that play.
I'm not sure where. I'm not good with geography. Generally, I have to look it up. But I swear I just heard a scream from Montana as she got another steal and a score. Doing what she does, now with 13 in the first half and a 32-22 lead for the Polar Bears. Good left hand, but it took an extra bounce. It's Casey Bidlack all the way around the world, leads to a wide open 3. Glenn closes late. Baldwin Wallace wanted a foul, and let's just say insanity is about to ensue.
Oh. Yeah, they called a flop. They are not.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know until just now that there was a signal for that.
Yeah, that's it right there, flop.
Yeah. I love that Gabby Croft's down just trying to talk to Brent Serban of what's happening. Now Braden Sauer, you'll
tell
see.
the assistant to sit down. Oh, well, maybe not.
I think he just walked away.
Yeah, because that's what normally they say.
It's also amusing to me. I never hear officials yelled at by their first names, and they were definitely yelling Braden. All right. 10-point lead for the Polar Bears with Glenn.
Great job not using that
little handoff there.
Screen.
Serban fired a missile.
Traveled.
And Akamine kind of got caught in the middle of it.
Kind of shifted her feet right there.
Back in will come Dixon. Ohio Northern at 3:39 away from going into the half with a 10-point lead. It's going to be a lot of things before we get there. Abby Dixon's been a nice scorer out of Germantown Valley View High School. Scored in 9 games, the last 9 games, as a matter of fact, off the bench this year.
Yeah, she's really good off the bounce. She does a great job off the dribble.
And a foul. So I'm giving her flowers, as they say. She commits the foul. Layla Dials returns. I probably won't say anything about her because we're not having good luck with that tonight.
No.
3.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Great job, yeah.
Remember, it wasn't that long ago. Baldwin Wallace led this ball game.
Yeah.
Emily Irwin on the drive. Tried to place it, just kind of took an awkward bounce off the nails there.
Well, the cutter wasn't finishing her cut yet, so she was halfway through her cut, and she just didn't have it finished yet. So it was kind of a pass that probably wasn't there yet. Sometimes you see that develop a little player as a guard, but the cutter didn't finish her cut.
Kayla Jones out of Grove City, where she had straight A's all through high school. I wish I could say that.
Right.
Into the ball game, and who's there? Bryn Serban again.
That was a great little fadeaway shot.
Her career high against Baldwin Wallace, is 21, set here last year.
She went under that screen.
Spot up three, and she paid for it.
Yeah.
Emily Irwin with her second triple of the ball game. She started the scoring for her team. That's her 41st from beyond the arc.
Yeah. The way she, answer it back. No.
Short. Ruane had the rebound. It bounced off her hands for Jones.
Kick out for the three out there on the right wing.
It's a little shuffle. All it take for Leah Riley. I like her shoes, though.
Yeah.
A little purple.
It'd be interesting to see some ball screening action from Baldwin Wallace to see where we go with those screens.
Irwin on Soprano for three. Off the rebound. Bidlack
a long rebound.
had it. We'll try it again from the right wing. Everywhere you can get. This shot chart has to be fascinating right now.
You just can't turn and watch the ball and rim run. You got to go turn and get a body into your offensive player.
Shot clock again. Now is pushed back as Irwin. Tried to set something up with four. Baldwin Wallace on the run. Oh, and a beautiful drop down. The ball came out just at about 1.1 seconds.
Yeah. That was a good pass.
Kira Filpo with the basket. Cuts the lead back to 7, but here comes Serban again. Dropped it underneath. Ruane with the up and under layup. All 7 of her points in this quarter. Create and finish.
Oh, boy.
It's a wide open triple. And it's stand to reason. The last 2 players that have scored for Northern on the very next have been the defensive player watching the 3 go in from the hands
that transition
of
defense.
Riley.
Great job with Brent on that flat screen.
And a foul will stop the clock with 1:11 to go.
I tell you, Baldwin Wallace's form on shooting threes are really impressive.
And they don't rush.
Even when they don't go in, it looks like it's going in.
As I talked about Bryn Serban, if she gets 16 points in this game, she'll become, I believe it's just the 13th polar bear to ever have 1,200 points in her career. Oh, look at that. She's got 16 points. It's funny how that works out. She passed Jenna Dirksen for 12th on the three-pointer list, or free throw list, rather, recently. Now she continues to climb up there with a game high 17 right now.
Yeah, she was close to rolling out of that screen.
Speaking of rolling out, another 3 that'll roll out on the other side for Emily Irwin. She's got 3 of them, and the lead back to 5.
She got a little high-low. She got over the top. Good help by Baldwin Wallace.
Soprano in the corner. Quick trigger. Short. 2 different Yellow Jackets rush.
She got the left lane open here for the 3.
Locally. Back up top, down to 34. The play clock and the game clock offset by about 10 seconds. It's got to get a shot off here. You need to come out of it with a basket, I think, if you're Baldwin Wallace.
Yeah, that was a good job so far, defending a lot of multi kind of action screens.
Drives through, up on Allen. Couldn't commit the foul, but got the rebound. So it'll be ONU who will get a chance to play for the shot at the end of the quarter. And here comes Serban. Off the screen, runs out to her left. Back up top, Ruane for 3 at the buzzer. Bingo. R-U-A-N-E. And she's got 10 as we go to the break. 41-33, Ohio Northern here on NK Telco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
If you're a veteran, surviving spouse, or a dependent of a veteran, contact Shelby County Veteran Service Commission today. We can help you apply for a wide range of veteran-related benefits that you earned. Shelby County Veteran Service Commission. Veterans helping veterans.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Welcome back inside the ONU Sports Center, the Kinghorn Center and Campoli Courts. More names than what are points on the board right now, but it is a 41-33 lead on the First National Bank scoreboard for Ohio Northern. A big thank you to the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Quality Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. And a reminder that you can watch these games back on demand on our YouTube page at nkt.tv, on the app, as well as Channel 160 on Thursday at 6 o'clock. Replays on NK Telco cable channel 3 and 503 at 2:21. That's February the 21st for anyone who's not Mike Hearn. February the 22nd at noon as well. YouTube, Facebook, nktelco.com/sports. And a big thank you to our sponsors and the hardworking gentlemen as well, helping us bring you this game. Taking a look at the Grand Lake Health Systems mid-game stats. A lot of things to get to. How Northern led by Bryn Servin, and she's got 17 points in this ball game, and now 1,201 points is actually 6 away from becoming the number 5 all-time leading scorer in Northern history. And I know there are a lot of folks, whether they're at the University of Montana, I figured out where Missoula was, by the way, or Madison, Alabama, her entire family watching from somewhere, maybe in the Berg as well. An impressive first half for her, but one thing that I saw you highlighted that jumps out in this game, you see 9 turnovers for Baldwin Wallace, is the amount of points off turnovers for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, that's the stats that kind of, everything looks fairly even between 1 or 2 to 4 points, except for the points off turnovers. So Ohio Northern's got 15 and Baldwin Wallace has got 1.
That seems like a pretty big differential.
Yeah.
That's nothing that much jumps out except for these 2 things. Bryn Servin has got 17. Noe Wayne has 2 triples and 10 points. Didn't score until the second quarter when she ripped off a 13-13 tie after 1 into the first of 28 points for ONU. Layla Dials has 2. Abby Akamine with 3. Chloe Glenn and Brooke Allen with 5. And that'll make Taylor, watching from I would imagine home. I didn't think this through, which is Coach Cassie's sister, watching and also not making Jessica happy from Mentor. See, my wife told me it's Mentor, not Mentor. You'll get,
yeah, right.
You'll get something. Emily Irwin's got 11. Leah Riley with 9 out there, Northeast Ohio. Bella Valent with 1. Kaylee Ressler with 9 and 3 from Akira Filpo for the total of 33. And look at the men's game up in Northeast Ohio. They apparently are still at halftime. It's the world's longest halftime. 40-38. It's because they went to the chicken place down the street, I think is what happened. So they see how the first couple of minutes goes. Usually the first 2 or 3 minutes, I feel like, of the second half can kind of set the tone for the second part of this game.
A lot of action right there. A back screen into a flex cut into a down screen.
The left-handed triple from straight away.
I think we're in for a good half, Mike. I saw Bryn Servin's mom actually here tonight.
Well, she might be all right. Well, then forget about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, normally she's
the only
not
member
on Wednesdays, and she said she's going to pay for it tomorrow.
Well, that drive back to the Berg is not fun. There's no good way to get there from Ada. Servin, and speaking of, we'll say deflected on the way down. 4 different hands tried to take it away from her. And the all-time steals leader at Northern tried to procure one with Brooke Allen.
Got to get a timeout.
Off an awkward bounce. Nope. You know what you do? Forget the timeout.
That was we had some head turners going on at the, kind of focused on the ball. It couldn't go anywhere because it was dead, so we didn't need to necessarily be watching the ball there.
So Wrestler cuts it to just a 3-point lead on a 5-0 run, and immediately Brooke Allen with a 2 on the other side.
I think there was probably some defensive effort addressed by Coach Herring at halftime.
I think there was some screaming about that just a couple of minutes ago. Brooke Allen, a second-team pick in the league a year ago, the all-time leading scorer at Woodmore High School, now closes out late. And if you close out late on these three-point shooters, specifically Valent, who gets herself going, you're in trouble.
Tough action, because that starts with a back screen, so you got to hedge that a little bit and to protect the basket, but then she popped out of that pretty good and scored.
Acamina with a tough miss, missed the second one as well.
Obviously, you got a post player can shoot the three like that, and you set that kind of a screen and be able to roll out of it or pop out of it that quick. That's dangerous. There it is again.
I'm told, by the way, from people who are not here, that the University of Findlay women's team is in attendance tonight. So they share a lot of commonalities. It's a drive-by, and now a 7-2 run. This one is Alyssa Miller's first 2, and she's a young lady that scores 5 a game. Tied at 43. 3 from straight away. Who else? Britt Serpent's mom has to be in the house for every game. She's got 20. Polar Bears having a race back using the Uncle Mo from Klondike up there.
Little dribble weave handoff there into a ball screen.
Same sort of thing. And I'm actually surprised that it took the second move for Acamina to get called, because I swear I just saw that right hand up across the forearm. Something they are pointing out next to me. I'd just like to make sure I get that in. What a competitive game. This is almost eerily similar to the way the game last year went. That came down to Acamina calling game at the end.
Yeah.
That was kind of her coming out party after working at the surf shop back at home. Popo for 3. Oh, the right-handed throw.
Well, that's one where she drops the guide hand so quick.
She's made 4 of 15 of those, by the way. A rebound. Peyton Warnicki snuck in to force the tie-up and gets the possession. And, you know, it kind of gets lost. I mean, you look at Peyton playing 15, 16, 17 minutes a game. Obviously, girls played a lot of basketball, went to state a couple of times down the road at Ottawa Glandorf for Troy Yant, but also now in her first year as a starter, knowing her role and able to get inside just like Allen did, but does all the dirty work. And the tie-up, we went one way, we'll go the other way.
So Ohio Northern did a great job with that lob to keep it away from the defender. You always say go to the corner of the backboard with it. Therefore, you're not going to give that up as far as, into the defender's hands. And they put it out there far enough in the corner of the backboard, but she got her own rebound, just got a tie up there.
So Carolyn Wokley, the 5'8" senior, returns. What I love about these two programs, and obviously when it was Michelle, now that it's Mark, and what they have done in Baldwin Wallace, is they're eerily similar in terms of their preparation. They have a lot of girls, obviously, who come into these games that we'll call it the Cuyahoga County step.
Yeah,
up and in.
That I'm not so sure about. It didn't look like
the
a Euro
Napoleon
step.
They do it differently in Napoleon.
Yeah.
So actually, he said wrestler, but Matt Ebert would be the one, I believe, who got that. Or they put it up on the board wrong. Serve it with the left hand. Allen tried the rebound. That's got to be a travel, I would think.
I don't know. They call.
There's a lot of things I'm not really sure about right now, to be honest with you.
No change of possession.
So it had to be Matt Ebert, by the way, because wrestler was not on the floor.
Yeah.
Underneath when that happened.
I didn't see the traveling signal, but
well, they changed the possession now, so they did call the travel.
Yep. Well, he had to let us know.
I think that was a lot of people's point, and I don't think that was anything that mattered.
No, it wasn't even the official that called it. They had to kind of.
Oh, Ruane just missed point blank over the head of Glenn and Popo.
You can get that ball from
out
behind.
Into traffic. 46-45 Northern. Here comes a wrestler, a former Wildcat, now with a kick across and a
really
question of who's going to take it.
Wow, Mike.
Wow, indeed.
That thing came down the cylinder and back out. A good fortuitous situation for Ohio Northern.
Well, we'll see. Dials looks inside, playing pitch and catch. Chloe Glenn, great seal off the glass and robbed. There's no reason. That thing rolled all the way across the top and just would not go in.
Good post seal. She got into her pretty deep. The deeper you are, the less post move you have to make.
Or the further you are away, it would appear from Baldwin Wallace, the easier the shot is to make. Wrestler with 3. She was just walking around Napoleon and threw that ball up, and it went in.
She didn't go.
Serving out the Dials, now trailing are the Polar Bears. Serving trying to change that step back triple.
That's a tough one from 3.
And it hit the support up above as Mackenzie Soprano came back in and completes a crazy couple of minutes here in the third. It's a media timeout. 48-46 Baldwin Wallace on the First National Bank scoreboard here on NK Telco Sports.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
48-46, Baldwin Wallace. I don't know what is going on with the men's game, I'll be honest with you. It is, the video I'm watching still says 40-38 at the half.
There's got to be some kind of mistake here.
I'm going to text some people and find out. They just got a bit of walking around. It's an impressive couple of minutes, though, defensively for both teams. There could be at least 3 or 4 extra scores in the last minute or so. So the return of the MAC is the return of the basketball. Now, I don't know that Baldwin Wallace is realizing what's happening.
Somebody got to go get the ball.
You and your funny ideals. First, you want them to go get it. Second, you wanted to continue to go. By the way, the men's game, I don't know what's going on with the video, but it's actually 63-62 beat up. And speaking of shots going down for the Yellow Jackets, Carolyn Wokley with her 35th of the year gives her team a 5-point lead. So a little scoop over to Serban, 3-ball.
Man,
so
she was
good.
I mean, I don't know how you let a player like Bryn Serban get that wide open. I'd like to see that again in replay.
She's got 175 of them on the year. Why wouldn't the number 1 stealer in ONU history come up with one? Northern needs it. Ruane on the run, had all of her points in the second. Oh my goodness. The little magician trick up off the glass, and we're tied at 51.
So that's a great job right now with Ohio Northern out of that timeout. I think Baldwin Wallace, I think she drug her foot a little bit there for a travel. But anyhow, they came out with a little more, I think, energy than Ohio Northern did. And after that timeout, I think Ohio Northern's come back and matched it and then some.
Well, tied now with a chance to go back ahead. We've got about 13 minutes left in this game. Soprano for 3, way long, just barely nipped the front of the rim. Ruane tried to keep it in play as she was sent to the ground and just rolled away, and it'll be beat up balls. They'll make a sub for Kaylee Ressler, and she'll drag along Casey Badalak with her. So Kaylee and Casey into the game. Our Northern men now down 67-64. 9 minutes ago in the second half as Gabby Croft, the Spencerville Bearcat, races in. I just love her story. Again, got to see her just excel in high school for Greg Ekas, but also being an alum and remembering when she was little, but had that her first 3 career 3-pointers all went in this building about a week and a half ago. Love stories like that. Now on the back down. Oh, great move from the left to the right just to get the shot up against Allen Prevalent.
Yeah, a lot of action there. Started out with a double screen. And
Serban Just short. This is being played at a frantic pace in this quarter.
Yeah, well, everybody's trying to match everyone's intensity right now. And I think that's where that's coming out, frantic.
Irwin off the pass to the outside, taken away by Gabby Croft. Chloe Glenn will return here momentarily. Sal Dixon. She's got kind of an interesting way to do it. Off that top of the bounce, is serving off the screen from Croft. Didn't like it. Brings it back up top to create something for Soprano.
Yeah, they're definitely going over the top of the ball screen on Bryn.
Down to 6 and 5. Serving again. BRYNN and another 3 for 26 in the game. That's all she's done in this quarter is knock down threes. It's 54-51 Polar Bears. Have yourself a day, Bryn. Her career high is 25, by the way. Well, it used to be. Then against Mount Union. It's 26 now. It's a feed inside. Good seal to be able to turn up there.
Yeah, that got through. She hit the post and made a Laker cut, as they call it. And got that pass through.
Soprano for 3. And ONU, we only count by threes. That's her first from downtown. And 20th of the year, and they are not happy with the gold and the brown on.
Yeah, that's a line drive that goes in. There's not a lot of arc on that basketball, Mike.
Bella Valent was 3 of 13 from beyond the arc coming into this game. She's 2 of 3 in this quarter.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's basketball. Servin off balance. Ran into a wall.
Doing a little body foul there.
58 seconds to go. And a traveling call. This game's coming down to us, ball last. This really seriously feels like last year on just kind of an overlap. Yeah, we're at a little bit of a different pace because it was a game that ended in the 50s last year, but it just feels like it as Akamine checks back in with Chloe Glenn for the Polar Bears.
Assistant coach here, Baldwin Wallace, is really on the officials for the flop, and that's faking a head, bobbing the head if you like Bryn might have done, but that
inside.
It wasn't a flop.
Chloe Glenn, she's strong. High Northern men had a lead a second ago, 72-71. Baldwin Wallace turned right back around off a Luke Driscoll layup. And
yeah, that's, tough place to go.
Carter Reese has got 13. Kaden Jacoby's got 20.
Yeah, Baldwin Wallace usually plays pretty well at Baldwin Wallace.
Akamine now on the dribble on Sprung Gymnasium where they're playing there in Berea.
Yeah.
And a travel.
That might be a kind of maybe paradoxical statement as far as people playing well on their home floors, but
I don't even have to ask you if they're going to play for one here because Sherry's hand is right up with one finger. Irwin into the contest. That might be who this goes to, honestly. She's got 3 different threes that have fallen down. But Servin's got 26 on the other end of her team's 57. Jump on my back and let's go.
A little crossover. She keeps that nice and low because Hakamine's looking to pick it.
And the clocks are differentiated by about 5 seconds.
It's going to be a kind of an isolation, I think. 1-4 clear out. There it is. Yep.
Down to 13, and the coach's hands out of what are you doing?
Yeah, that was
a foul. 8.9 to go, but not the worst thing in the world in that it shuts the shot clock off. Meaning if you're Baldwin Wallace, grilling you're not through.
Obviously, 8.9 seconds is a lot of time to get it in bound and even get a secondary action out
the inbounder. She'll look to throw some kind of action coming. Throw over the top to Glenn on Leah Riley. Down to 6 and 5 for Riley.
Now this
Drives.
is a 1-4 isolation.
Left side,
kick.
kicks back out, 3 in the lead. Buckets. Casey Badalak with the 3 at the buzzer. Then we go into the 4th. It's Baldwin Wallace 59, Ohio Northern 57 here on NK Telco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Start of quarter number 4, and I don't have to guess what's being said in the Baldwin Wallace huddle because I can hear every single word of it during the break.
Yeah.
Ohio Northern men, by the way, up in Berea, down up by 1. 76 for them, 77 for Baldwin Wallace. And a big game from Jared Logan for Baldwin Wallace. He's got 20. Ohio Northern just got a turnover, though. 10 minutes up on the board, 59-57 here. This is what you can do with your first 3 possessions. I always think in these close games of if you can go +2 in terms of good things and bad things in your first 2 possessions, you might have a chance to win this game. Numbers are pretty much online for everything. We talked about points in the paint. ONU 20-18, 20-4 on turnovers. Not a lot of fast breaks on either side. Serban for 3 in the lead.
That was really good action.
It's kind of fading to her left, though, in that draw back to the right.
Boy.
Running the floor and rewarded, but the miss from Wrestler.
It's one of those things where you get a little bit out of control.
Sorry, from Valen, actually.
You're kind of going a little, you got to gather yourself a little bit easier said than done.
On the body down. Whee!
Yeah.
59-59 at 9:24.
Oh.
Pull up. Short left. And I'm not saying Baldwin Wallace is rushing. They're just these shots are not going to go.
Yeah, well, the first one was just out of control on the transition. Sometimes when that happens, Mike, you just got to take a jump stop to gather yourself. But
Oakley with the run by touch foul. I'm not quite sure about it. Now, in terms of the game for her, it's not that big of a difference. It's just her second foul, but keeping in mind that it's the first of the fouls in this quarter for Baldwin Wallace, that might mean something later. Soprano inside to Bryn Serban, and she'll get the 2.
Well, they went over the top on that screen, and Bryn, she was follower. Bryn did a good job of driving the post and scoring on that.
8:55 to go now as the clock continues to be the enemy of somebody. See who that is. Oakley with the throw, bandied back around, and Allen had the last finger on it, it looked like. 10 seconds on the clock as out goes Brooke and in comes Chloe. Chloe with 2 E's.
It's kind of pick your poison when it comes to how you're going to defend the ball screen with Bryn Serban. If you go under, she's going to step back and hit the 3. If you go over and trail, she's going to drive.
Polar Bear women are 8-1 at home this year. Leading 61-59 as the take. Valette can't get it to drop. Here comes Ohio Northern. Again, the first 3 possessions, Northern scored on 1 of the 3.
So they get a back screen on Bryn, into a staggered screen, into a handoff. That's multiple action plays you got to defend.
Dials on the take from Chloe Glenn, goes to the elbow. And again, that's the Bryn Serban shot of falling away, hitting it back on the opposite side.
Yeah.
First 2 of the half.
Both teams are shooting the basketball pretty well.
21-45 for Baldwin Wallace, 20-47 for Northern coming in to this quarter as the first foul against the Polar Bears. Will be the first foul against Mackenzie Soprano. So Brent Serban's got 28.
Yeah, she's good. Captain Obvious over here.
I've heard that, actually. So Brent Serban, again, her career high used to be 25. It's now up to 28 as they are. I'm not quite sure what, did they change the, they did a foul total. Baldwin Wallace didn't have one up there. Somebody was asleep at the wheel. Prince Serban, last year's OAC Player of the Year and the Defensive Player of the Year. Tournament MVP.
Oh, there comes a...
She's got a handful of defenders out there with her, though, that I would argue are some of the better ones in the league.
Oh, wow.
If you're not going to put your hand up, I'm going to put it in the bottom of the basket, says Casey Madelack. Brings her team to within one. That's her third from outside in this half. And a couple of left-handed dribbles and a run for Dials.
She really wanted that. Oh.
Dials threw it away, but Wayne's got to get back there to prevent the easy layup.
Oh.
And I don't know how you can have this go more your way if you're ONU. Serban with Dials a little behind the back. Back up top to Serban. Again, she's never scored 30 in college.
Oh, Brandon.
Out to Dials on the run. She'll pull up just outside the block. Too strong. Rebound to the floor, but that's just bad luck for Madelack chasing that ball, trying to save it. Because I guess it works out smart. If Wayne touches it, it's a backcourt violation. Now, Serban on the cross. It's going to be fouled on her way to the basket. Everybody returns. Acamino will bring Brooke Allen with her, and also Gabby Croft. Madelack will come out.
Sherry's having a few words with the official right now.
Getting her money's worth.
She sure is. Out of the coaching box, I might add.
6:45. Here's Serban for 31. Nope, off the back iron. Gabby Croft had the rebound, and she was asked, could you use that white jersey and just kind of mop up the floor a little bit? She said, I'd prefer not to. That'll be Wrestler's first foul.
Well, we got a little mop over there, though. We just got nobody manning the mop.
Well, she could have done it while she was laying there.
That's true.
6:39 in the game with Serban, the inbounder. Up top for Acamine. Oh, beautiful spin move. And the hang with the right hand. Rebound, Brooke Allen. Stick back, Brooke Allen. She made it 59-59 recently. It's now 65-62, and a ball that dribbled off the foot. Acamine with the turnover, and here.
A lot of impatience there by
Baldwin
the
Polar Bears.
They didn't have numbers. She dribbled into three girls.
Better question would be, who is the last Ohio Northern Polar Bear to score 30? Answer, Bryn Serban. That gives her a career-high 31. And it's 67-62 Polar Bears. Right on the other side. My goodness. Emily Irwin from just outside of the chicken place down the street from Baldwin Wallace. You give Serban a 2 for that?
Yeah. That could have been out at Carmi's over there. Oh, I'm sorry. That's it. It's the wrong school. It's Heidelberg. Get my chicken place.
She got it nearly from the bridge right outside of the baseball stadium. Acamine for 3. Draws off the front, and Allen got caught where she kind of went around Gabby Croft and then into Wrestler. And will come Chloe Glenn. They'll trade players with 2 fouls. But I would be willing to bet that Britt Locke or Amy Bullimore are probably one of the last 2 that you could pick that had 30 in the game.
Yeah, they were good.
But Britt will end up being the only player in school history to be an all-OAC pick 5 times. Why? Because, COVID. 5:13 to go. Ohio Northern men with 251, tied at 82. That has turned into a game. Willie Miller's got 16, but another big game from Johnny Cunningham as Chloe Glenn with the save. Carter Reese has got 16. Johnny's got 15. Theo Mag's got 4. So that the starting lineup for the Bears tied at 82. Acamine trying to lose her defender up top. And again, ONU can take some time here, but they're down to 10. Serban off that screen, comes left. Pull up, elbow, short.
Baldwin Wallace did a really good job of shadowing with the post. So she got over the screen on Bryn. Bryn couldn't turn the corner because the post was bottling that up for a good period of time until the player could recover back on Bryn. So that was a good defensive series for Baldwin Wallace.
Sherry Harrer got her 500th win against Ohio Northern.
A little too much handsy there.
That was 170 wins ago. 4:13 to go, and on the foul, now 3 apiece. Still 4 timeouts left on each side and a media timeout. 4:13 on the First National Bank scoreboard. 67-65 Polar Bears here on NK Telco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
4 minutes and 13 seconds out of the precision strip timeouts. 4 on each side. By the way, the record for field goal percentage in a single game, Ohio Northern shot 67.7% against Baldwin Wallace in the 87-88 season. My math says 25 of 58 is not 67%, but of the 32 minutes and 10 seconds where someone has had a lead, 27-01 has belonged to Ohio Northern. 6 lead changes, 5 times we've been tied. And you talked about at the half, points off turnovers. Right now, it's Ohio Northern at 24-4, and points in the paint. At the end of the third quarter, it was 20-18 Ohio Northern. It's now 30-18. Matt says that's a 10-0 run.
Yep.
So Baldwin Wallace, who owned the #1 seed right now, on the ropes here in Ada.
Yeah, it'd be big for the standings if Ohio Northern could pull this one out.
Northern is 2 games behind Baldwin Wallace right now in that tie for second spot.
Yeah, they really looked for a post touch there is what they were looking for. Didn't get it. Pretty good defense. Oh, it's a nice little flare.
Down to 6. Wrestler will drive.
Go to the corner.
Kicked it across just in front of Serban. The 3. Hand in her face and all. Carolyn Wokley. She's hit 36 now out of 97 on the year.
She just got that one off at the last second.
Guess it doesn't matter how you do it. 68-67.
Oh, a little flex cut up wide open. Yeah.
So Soprano crew will have to chase now.
That little skip pass.
I don't believe Wokley's got to be feeling it right now. Her last 2 have either extended or given her team the lead.
Definitely looking for the post touch there. She's going to come. Oh, nice little
kick across. Nope. That ball was short. Offensive rebound thwarted by Bryn Serban. Serban now will catch and run off the glass. Didn't really set herself, just tried to shot put one to the glass.
Yeah, got a little farther away separation-wise from the basket. They're going to go down, and they're going to probably want a post touch somewhere in this
Under
series.
2 minutes to go in the men's game. Now a minute and a half. The Baldwin Wallace up by 1. 2:51 to go here with the Baldwin Wallace women up by 1.
Oh,
Wrestler, great play by Glenn.
Yeah.
And it is going to stay a beat-up ball. I believe that's the right call. It looked like, from my vantage point, that it was off of Mackenzie Soprano.
Yeah, Chloe did a great job of getting around at the last minute and get that hand, get a touch on the basketball.
Baldwin Wallace brings in a handful of young ladies during this change.
7 seconds on the shot clock.
2:44 to go.
Line action here.
Also, Carolyn Wokley representing Mentor, Ohio.
She's going all the way to the basket. Good job. Ohio Northern, good defensive series there.
Mentor Cardinals, home of Mitch Trubisky. Former Chicago Bears quarterback.
Yeah.
Down to 2:25. Here's Serban. Tried to go around a screen, threw it back up top. Dials. I don't know if the defender faked her out.
Yeah. She did a good job of not traveling on that.
Fed inside. Great seal by Allen again. 2 off the glass, and it's the second straight bucket that has been a tie or a lead for her squad. Coach Harris just standing in front of me of hands out of what are you guys doing right now? Pull up from just outside the elbow. Misses left. And a foul.
The last 2 trips down the floor, I don't know if the shot selection was all that great for Baldwin Wallace. Looks like she might be talking about that a little bit to her player.
So Serban will acquiesce the point guard spot. Badalak will return for Baldwin Wallace. It's 85-85 in Berea with 1:08 to go. It's 69-68 Polar Bears with 1:45 to go here in Ada. Servin and Dials playing pitch and catch with Ruane on the screen. Dials didn't like it, had to pick it up inside. Brooke Allen goes spin, left-hand baseline, too strong. Check the ball right back out, though. Flippo able to recover. Minute and a half to go in a timeout.
See how Allen kind of scoops that shot? I'm surprised more people aren't playing that scoop.
I'm actually surprised as we hit the precision strip timeout that Mark Hillsman was smiling. It's a 30-second timeout. Now, you're very deep into this ball game. What is going through your mind here? You're obviously thinking kind of 2 for 1 of we need to get a stop if we're Northern, and then what you do offensively.
Yeah, I mean that's just it right there, Mike. Is you got time here, get 2 for 1, and you just gotta get a stop. It's the key. We used to talk about, and it could be that, I'm not sure the case, if you get 3 stops in a row, we call that a kill. And that's kind of what you're trying to do.
So now with 1:29 here and 1:07 up in Berea. This is just crazy how these, because I've been watching the score and obviously seeing this of how these 2 games really, when I get the updates, are paralleling each other of just kind of how it goes back and forth. If you don't like OAC basketball, there's a good chance that you just either don't like basketball or you just don't know what good basketball is.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many games I've been in that separated themselves by 2 to 5 points or went into overtime in OAC.
Shout out to Michael Johnson down in Atlanta, says go Bears. I like they spelled it the Cajun way, though. It's a terrific player for the football team. Really enjoyed being able to call multiple tackles. 1:29 to go. Polar Bears.
This could be a pass to the corner for, oh no. They could have hit the corner for maybe a post touch, but they're not.
It's kind of being methodical now. The
very
game
much.
clock will be down around a minute if they play it to the end.
It's going all the way to
Tough
the rim.
take in.
Again, that's...
Rebound, though, offensive. You're not going to stop Kaylee Ressler.
She just got that above the rim. It just snuck over the rim. She didn't get very high, but it's
70-69. They don't ask you how you made it.
No, they do not.
Servin has a deflected ball. It'll stay Polar Bear basketball. And there is a revolving door. Baldwin Wallace just hit a 3 to take an 88-85 lead up in Berea with 45 seconds. It is crazy. I just watch these gold jerseys just fly by me all the time.
They hustle in and out.
Nobody in the student section sitting, by the way.
That's great.
Mark Hillsman says, I need one of those precision strip timeouts you keep talking about.
How you come off the floor, body language shows a lot about your basketball culture, I think.
Well, I swear I just said Baldwin Wallace was leading 88-85. It just went back to 85-85.
Well, I don't know. We've gone through this one before, and it didn't end up well for us.
Our Northern women return back here at home on a Saturday afternoon, a game you can watch live on the same spots that you can watch this ball game. Capital comes to town before a trip to Wilmington and a finish to the regular season next Saturday against Muskingum. That means the Ohio Northern men go to Capital in what could be a spot for their playoff lives.
Yeah.
Lena Potofsky made a 3 for Baldwin Wallace. That's why the difference.
Yeah.
Ruane.
Oh, great job.
Drew Dixon down to a minute for Servin, trailing by 1.
Looking for Brent on that secondary
70-69. Again, tried to run the hide and seek. Low for Brooke Allen. Spins back out top for Dials at 8. Dials now on the run. Pulls up. Went to go to Allen. It went off her fingertips and out of play. And now with 45.6 left, Ohio Northern trailing by 1. They have just 3 fouls against them, though, by the way. It's really...
They can disrupt some action here. And anything that looks going towards the basket, they need to do.
Looking inside, Emily Irwin. Dean's List, she's pretty smart. She's part of the all-region team a year ago.
Not many people at Ohio Northern University that aren't smart.
Well, you get pretty much everybody from Baldwin Wallace, too, so a lot of high-quality athletes.
She's trying to
Allen,
double bury her low.
she got caught. That little extra move there where the elbow kind of tucked behind for a second when she went up.
Yeah, well, there's one where you could have, used one while she was driving to the basket to disrupt that rhythm and that drive to the basket.
I'm not really sure what the conversation was, but Valent, who went 1 for 4 from line in the first quarter, now will take herself to that same spot.
Looks like she was holding her elbow there. Long.
And the Perrysburg product now has missed her last 4 from the free throw line. That lets Northern hang around. 70-69. Was an All-Ohio win a couple of times.
Long again.
And missed it. Ohio Northern with a timeout and 16.8 to go.
Yeah.
A precision strip timeout.
Not bad form. It's just she brings it kind of high and lets it go.
Well, she came in all the year 50 of 76. And like I said, she hit the first one in the first quarter and then has missed 5 straight since. So if you're Ohio Northern right now, you've got an extremely white-hot hand in Bryn Serving. She's got 30. She hit those 3 triples in the third. Mackenzie Soprano had a 3. Noe Ruane had that big second quarter. You've had success getting inside to Brooke Allen.
Yeah, well, you could do a couple things here, Mike.
But would you be shocked if it comes out of anything other than a Bryn Serving shot here?
Yeah, well, you could use her, though, as somewhat of a misdirection or false action play. But again, I think it's going to be 16 seconds left, some kind of a secondary action play for Bryn. And she's on that far block. See if she gets a staggered screen. So she gets a cross screen to the corner.
So
they really denied that. They called a foul.
Took a second off the clock.
Yeah.
Maybe on Alyssa Miller, that'll be her third.
Well, I mean, she got that cross screen. Everybody in the world knows where she was going, but the Baldwin Wallace defender just got there late.
So here's Bryn Serving, one of the best free throw shooters in Northern history, with a chance to tie it. Bottoms. 70 with 15.8 left.
Yeah, you see what Sherry does here, where she gets it up and calls a timeout, half court.
Second.
It's
good.
She's gonna bring it up.
Do exactly that. 71-70 Ohio Northern.
I keep forgetting in the women's game, you can call that there, and it's advanced up to the side.
She had a career high 25 against Mount Union a couple of years ago, but now just insane to me. One of only 13 players to make over 200 free throws in her career. I really don't know who else you would want at the line if you're Northern.
Yeah, no, I was just hoping you didn't jinx her.
Ohio Northern men, by the way, are down 88-85 with about 13 seconds to go. Yeah, they have the ball under their own basket.
Yeah. 1-4 kind of low play here. A little
Carter
bounce
Reese
out.
was the inbounder.
Oh,
Reese
nice
off
action.
a screen for 3 in the tie.
No.
Short. And the rebound for Baldwin Wallace, that'll pretty much put a stop to the Polar Bears' chances in that game.
Yeah, and that was...
Here comes Baldwin Wallace now in the women's game. Full court with 14 seconds, down 1.
It's a clear out here. Nice little...
We'll come right back to Emily Irwin.
Good job defensively with Ohio Northern.
Out to Battle-Act. Threw it away. Was it deflected?
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
3.4 seconds to go, and Bella Valent in and a timeout. There are a lot of things at play here. Baldwin Wallace takes a timeout. They have got a couple left. ONU's got 1. 1-point ball game. And remember, the last game last year between these two came down to 1 shot. This one just might as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick action, probably a little lob played, you got time for a little, scissors cut through a screen. I mean,
so here you get a look inside both timeouts, and there's Mark Hillsman drawing something up defensively, get a stop. I think it's either going to be a lob to Valent or it's going to be Kaylee Ressler for the 3 because she was on early.
And you play situational practices, you go last second situations. So I'm sure Sherry's got something in for this. So it's not the first time, I guarantee you, that Baldwin Wallace saw this being drawn up. It's just a reiteration.
Leah Riley will be the inbounder now with 3.4 seconds to go. Riley off the side will ball fake, looks inside, nothing doing, a chance to call another timeout.
A little too late. Baldwin Wallace briefly had a cutter to the basket, but Ohio Northern did a great job in closing that lane down.
So the 30-second timeout. Baldwin Wallace hit a pair of free throws and it wins 90-85.
I'm telling you, that's just not an easy place to go play.
So despite the rebounds, something going on here again, 71-70. Baldwin Wallace making sure they know how many timeouts they have.
Here we go again.
Different inbounder. Wokley will be the inbounder this time around. 2 up, 2 down, and it is Bella Vela
they wanted
on
to
the
get
inside.
that reversal.
Here's the shot at the buzzer. It will not fall in, but there's a whistle before the shot with 1.8. And it'll be on Ohio Northern's Layla Dials.
Yeah, I couldn't see because everybody was standing up in my way. So they looked for that cross screen seal. They didn't get the post seal, but they got the screener.
It's an interesting foul on Dials.
Yeah.
And that wrestler, the Napoleon Wildcat at the line, ties the game at 71.
Yeah, that about went in, too.
1.8 seconds to go. 55 of 71. She's hit 5 of 5 in this ball game.
Got it.
Make it 6 of 6.
Jeez.
So if ever you're looking for quick magic, it is going to have to be extremely quick.
Well, it's going the distance of the floor, I can tell you that. Maybe a little home run play, dare say it, by Leitner, Duke. I hate to say that.
Dude, my wife does not like you anymore.
I wasn't a fan. It's just the name of the play and where it came from.
You keep bringing it up. Carolina lost at home to Clemson last night.
I know.
So nobody in my house is a fan of Rich Pensman anymore. Maybe my daughter, but she's 3 and doesn't know better.
Doesn't know any better. Give her time.
So wait a second. It's like I keep talking about Carolina and Duke and Kentucky. It's not going to work. Yeah. 1.8 seconds to go. Keep in mind the Polar Bears do not have a timeout. So whatever their look is, they're going to have to hurry.
Yeah.
You got to imagine to try and get something, like you said, a home run or something maybe into a foul.
You could also have a kind of a looping cut by Bryn where she receives it about 3/4 courts, takes a couple dribbles, and then let it fly. That's something else you could do, but that was more of a 5-second play we had, was that. We called it trips, and we actually beat John Carroll on a last-second play.
But keep in mind, though, too, with the way that this goes, the Polar Bears inbound underneath their basket.
I keep forgetting that,
I'm sorry, from in front of their bench, rather.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about
that. So they've got something here, and they're trying to get the Baldwin Wallace girls to sit down.
That's huge.
1.8 to go. It'll be Dials who will trigger it in. Looking for a lob, didn't get it. Servin turns 3 for the win. Hit the back of the rim, and Baldwin Wallace survives.
Yeah.
72-71.
Here I am stuck on the men's basketball. I'm talking about going the full length of the floor and forget about the women's rule. When you call that timeout, you get it at 3/4 court. That's huge, or quarter court.
So the top-ranked team in the OAC survives with a sweep, men's and women's, each with wins over the Polar Bears. We'll talk about how this game comes to be and how it ends. Baldwin Wallace with a 72-71 win on the First National Bank scoreboard here on NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
A foul with 1.8 seconds left in the ball game gave Kaylee Ressler, the Napoleon Wildcat, a chance to knock down 2 free throws. She hit both. 72-70 the final, and a lot of things to unpack. Folks asked me, did Kaylee Ressler, who had 18 points in this game, did she impress you from the line? Well, she was 5 of 5. She comes in now 60 of 76 on the year. She had 57 out of 63 last year, so you kind of feel like if you're rooting for Baldwin Wallace, it was probably drawn for her to have a chance at the end. From what I could see, the foul, I saw what I guess they saw in Layla Dials. You can go back and watch this on YouTube and figure that out for yourself. But a heck of a ball game. Ohio Northern drops 13-8 on the year. They are 11-4 now in OAC play, and they were in a tie going into tonight in a second place for seeding purposes. But you gotta, come away with them when you can. Look at what Northern has with that tie. It's just, it's not going kind of the way that they want, but Baltimore, they're tied with Marietta. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Marietta, they were both 11-3 coming into tonight. Baltimore Wallace with this win, I would think, pretty much shores up that they will be the number 1 seed at 14-1 in the OAC in the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, that just depends on what everybody else does. But go back to that last second kind of play with Baldwin Wallace. They had Valiant and Ressler involved with the same kind of action. So Valiant went over and set the screen, and then, and sealed really hard on that back end. And kind of had to honor that a little bit because she did a good job of post sealing, and that kind of let Ressler open on that, front block that I call it, the ball block, where she got an opportunity for a decent look at the basket, which resulted in a foul.
There you see the Great Lake Health System's final stats. Ohio Northern out-rebounded 40-29. We talked about in our keys to the game about winning that turnover battle. Polar Bears only have 6 turnovers in this ball game. I had them for 7. What do I know? But either team shoots really well. The difference in this game to keep Baldwin Wallace in, 15 of 32 from 3. They made 12 the first time these teams played. They made 15 this time around. You do that, you're probably in good company.
Yeah, they shot the ball pretty well, and they always answered when they needed it, too. Like that, I think a big shot was that 3 in the corner. She got a hand in her face. She barely got it off because it was definitely a 1/4 lift jump shot, so she was taking it pretty low. So she barely got that one off, but it was a direct in, nailed the shot.
Kaylee Ressler comes closer to home, 18 points, 10 rebounds. 11 from Casey Badalak, 14 from Emily Irwin, including 4 of 8 from behind the arc. And you look at Badalak and Irwin, they combined to go 7 of 13 from 3. So next up for Baldwin Wallace to get Wilmington at home on Saturday. They go to Heidelberg on Wednesday. Marietta is in on Saturday next week. Northern women get Capital here at a game you can watch at 2 o'clock on the same place you watch this one. At Wilmington on Wednesday, at Muskingum next Saturday. But the Polar Bears led by a career high in 32 points from Pittsburgh native Bryn Serban. 13 from Brooke Allen. Nobody else outside of Nuri Wayne had more than 4. She had 12. It hit for 10, including that triple right before the quarter break that was part of a 28-point second quarter for Ohio Northern. Just one shot, really. It kind of comes down to that. You missed 2 free throws in the entire game. You see there 11 of 13. It's funny how that kind of tends to play itself out.
Yeah, again, if those points off turnovers wouldn't have been so lopsided, Ohio Northern wouldn't have probably been even in the game. But they did a great job coming out with a lot of energy, really focused. And then Baldwin Wallace kind of matched that coming out of halftime, and then Ohio Northern out of that timeout kind of matched that, and it's a game of runs, and that's kind of what it was. It was a good basketball game. Ohio Northern just came up on the short end of it.
Baldwin Wallace has now won 9 of the last 12 and the last 3 in this series since losing in this building. Big thanks to First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, along with Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco for helping us bring you this basketball game. And a massive thank you to Kurt Kuffner, Mark Fissel, Paul Downing, and Josh Miller for a terrific job. They allow us to see things that I argue about that I am proven wrong. That just continues to happen. To our assistant director and Jeff Henshin, and our big man in the truck at Austin Ambergy, for Rich Bensman and Mike Kern. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow from all of us here at NK Telco Sports.